Welcome. The first episode of the Split Line podcast. Our pilot. First ever episode. Woo! I'm your host, Travis. With me is one of my best friends of all time.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? I'm AJ. Good to be here today, too.
Well, dude, I hope you are having a good day, because we've got quite a few things to talk about. So yeah, welcome to the Split Line podcast. We talk about game news and basically everything video games in general.
Absolutely.
And speaking of news, boy, do we got a lot to talk about.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of talked about some of this earlier, but I'm glad we're saving the majority of it for now.
Of course.
So we're going to start off with a pretty small topic. Blizzard. No. Activision Blizzard, in light of all of this this fucking crazy ass stuff with Blitzchung and the whole Hearthstone ban through censorship and stuff. Well, Activision Blizzard got a note from Congress. And instantly that says to me, oh God. You know, on top of like the whole loot box problem with EA when congressmen started like, you know, getting into this stuff.
Right.
More so than normal, I should say.
And for the fact of the matter that Congress is actually getting themselves involved with game companies.
That
Doesn't seem very good to me.
It's worrying, but at the same time, I can't really say I blame them, given, you know, our industry is having problems with self-control.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, members of Congress sent a letter, and this is both from Republicans and Democrats who wrote this.
Oh, God.
So when you have two normally conflicting parties saying, hey, you done fucked up, yeah, that's...
You might want to take that into some serious consideration.
Yeah. Ultimately, it was them saying, hey, you know, we're concerned about you as an American company doing all of this stuff. And I look, I don't want to go into everything Activision Blizzard have done, because at this point, you could just search up Blizzard and all of it's right there.
Yeah.
So I feel like people who are listening to this, they're going to know. And if not, just do a search, because everything you need to know is right there. Blizzard banned a guy for a bunch of things, for one thing, basically censoring his freedom of speech. It's a whole big debacle. So anyway, news came out that they sent this letter to Activision Blizzard. As far as I know, there's like not been an official response from them, but it's there.
It's there, so they may want to consider responding very darn quickly.
Well, I just think as like...
Because that doesn't seem like something that you want to ignore.
Well, here's the thing, though. If they try to ignore it, I feel like they're just trying to... Like, Activision Blizzard, I feel like they're trying to let this all blow over, because eventually the internet will, quote-unquote, forget. But here's the thing. It's been like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, since all this started, and it has not died down. It's gotten worse, what with them canceling the Overwatch thing last week, which was a, you know, pretty big event considering you could meet the voice actors, and then Blizzard canceled it.
Yeah, that's like anybody that plays Overwatch, you know, that's like, I'm sure the hardcore fans would love to always, you know, meet the voice actors of their favorite heroes, you know, and then you finally get the opportunity to, and then Blizzard cancels it at the last minute. Yeah, it'd be upsetting.
Absolutely, and it was literally last minute. I think it was like 2 days out.
But for the fact of the matter, what was it, that they tried to have Nintendo do it, and Nintendo just threw them under the bus?
Yeah, so Nintendo put out a tweet, and they said, basically, Blizzard canceled. And they specifically mentioned Blizzard as the people who canceled the event. And they said, sorry for any inconveniences this may cause. And people lost their shit. Rightfully so.
Well, yeah, rightfully so. Especially if you spend money to, you know, be able to go to this event and meet people. And
Well, yeah, that's another thing, too. Is because who knows, you know, only being a few days out, I'm sure the actors and all the people who set this up aren't happy.
No.
And, like, it feels like Blizzard is trying to run with their tail between their legs. And... that's honestly, I think that's a good thing for us, because how many years have gone by where people are like, well, companies are going to do what they're going to do and we can't really change it. Like, look at how much, like, power we the consumer actually have, you know?
For the fact of the matter, we're making, one of the best known American game companies.
Oh, a titan. Yeah, a titan in the game industry.
And we're sitting there making them basically run with their tails between their legs.
Like,
as a community, Grant, I never ever want to see as a gamer myself, Travis. I never want to see a game company fail.
No, neither do I.
But it's like if you're actually setting yourself up for failure,
well,
I'm just gonna sit there and laugh.
Right. Like, here's the thing. It was like me with Bungie back when they were partnered with Activision. I was sad. I never wanted them to fail, but they brought it on themselves. All the bullshit that came with their
congratulations to Bungie for finally getting out of that, seriously.
Oh, God. Yeah, and what timing. Like, I bet the people at, like, the higher-ups at Bungie are, like, wiping the sweat from their brow going, that was close.
Yeah, no kidding.
But, so this kind of sparks a more political topic, and I'm not going to get too political into it because we don't do politics here on the show.
No.
But considering its actual effect on the game industry potentially going forward, what are your thoughts on because, okay, we know multiple companies, not just Blizzard, Activision, want to move towards China as their big thing. Ubisoft for sure want to, because, and I think Valve, I don't remember, it was either CSGO or Rainbow Six Siege. One of them started, I think it was Siege. I could be wrong, though. One of them, either way, started changing things in games so they could start selling their stuff in China. And to me, whenever you start changing, like, the artistic degree, you're kind of watering down your product. So with this stuff with Blizzard, how does that, like, do you have any, like, what are your thoughts? Do you have any concerns about any of this stuff and, like, what companies might try to do going forward with this? Do you think others are going to have the balls to do this, I think?
I hope that, in all honesty, my own opinion there, Mr. T, is for the fact of the matter, I just hope that most game companies can actually be smart enough to actually look and see, like, because right now, currently right now, Blizzard itself is seriously leading by example of how much, if you're not careful, how much of a shit show this can turn into.
Well, right.
So hopefully other game companies are watching this and being like, okay, maybe now we can, if they're wanting to go towards this, more power to them.
Sure.
But do not, under any circumstances, one, piss off the people who actually buy your products.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing, but go ahead.
And two, if you're going to do it smart and do it right. Do it the right way that's going to actually help benefit you, but also keep your supporters happy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, for the fact of the matter, with frickin' Blizzard, with the whole crap that went down, seriously, it was like, what? The group seriously backed out of the tournament, for crying out loud. There was a group of kids that backed out of the tournurnament.
With the college kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got banned.
They got banned at 8
days after.
8 days after, after they left?
So really? Weak, yeah.
And then, and I get it, I guess with what Blizzard's doing, with the whole issue with, China and all that. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to go into business with someone, you definitely want to keep your business partner happy.
Oh, yeah,
but
for
not
sure.
in a way that's going to make you dig yourself a hole that you're not going to be able to get out of.
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of things that are coming up here, and so this is probably going to sound like an echo chamber here, but a lot of it comes down to what's the level you're willing to sink yourself into in order to just gain money, because they're doing all this at the expense of their fan base. Like, if they actually cared, they would have stopped all of this and said sorry, because at this point, to me, this says they don't care about what we think, otherwise they would have stopped. But at the same time, they're so desperate to keep a hold on their China people that they're willing to sacrifice their current audience. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? If that's what they want to do, then by all means, I say let them do it.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
Don't expect me to sit there and support you in any way, shape, or form after it.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, you know how it was with me. I started playing WoW, and like, I was new,
but you were still enjoying it.
I was addicted. You were addicted to it. I was playing it like almost nonstop.
But then after all this crap went down, dude, I was very surprised to hear that you even stopped playing. But then again, I was surprised to hear like so many people stopped.
Yeah, it was a
people
huge
that have been
amount.
With Blizzard, that have been with WoW ever since it first came out.
And people who came before that. Mm-hmm. Like, people who had been playing Blizzard games since, like, I think mid-90s, mid to late 90s. Like, I was watching YouTubers saying, I've been with Blizzard for a long-ass time, and I watched them as they would just uninstall all this stuff and say, I can't until they change.
Yeah. Well, it's not, and you know what? Hey, that's their choice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, heck,
Absolutely.
I enjoyed playing Overwatch. Dude, like I also mentioned before, I loved playing Diablo.
Yeah.
Blizzard helped with Diablo.
Yeah.
Blizzard also helped with Overwatch.
Well, Blizzard made both of those.
Okay.
But sorry.
It's very hard for me to tell nowadays who helped and who actually fully makes the game.
That's fair. Well, especially when companies get into partnerships.
But with that, it was like, I can't play them anymore. And I enjoyed both those games. You know?
Yeah.
I loved playing Diablo. Why? Mostly for its story and also for its badass combat, you know, and everything like that. Overwatch. I was able to play with my friends. And I was able to pick a specific role.
Right.
You know, I could play as a support, a medic, a tank, you know, whatever helped my team in any way take the battlefield. And then you hear all this crap that Blizzard did, and I'm like, Blizzard, I'm sorry, but yeah, until you change, you officially don't have my support. I will no longer be playing your games until I see some change from you.
Right. No, I'm exactly on the same boat. And I mean, it's like, it's one thing to have, because, okay, you look at Activision, which we'll get into later. You know, they have been one of the crowning achievements of bad business practices, you know, anti-consumer and all that stuff. And like, there's a degree of anti-consumer, but then when you're starting to actually sacrifice your morals and your ethics for profit, that's when it starts crossing the line, especially as an American-based company. Like, I get it, it's technically private, so Blizzard have every right to do it. But you come off as an absolute asshole doing it. Especially when the country that your business is based in has the rights that let you do that in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And also for the fact of the matter that after you pull this shit, you get a letter from Congress themselves saying,
right,
you fucked up.
Right. You get a letter from congressmen saying, hey, we're worried and we're really disappointed. Like, they criticize. They full on criticize.
You can't blame them.
Oh, no. And the worst thing for Blizzard to do, Activision Blizzard, because it's on both, the worst thing they're doing to themselves right now is being silent.
Yeah.
I mean, their president put out a statement, but it basically boiled down to, we broke the tournament rules, which was their original statement on Twitter to us before they sent out the whole...
So the college kids, you didn't do anything to them.
Right, exactly. And their tournament was the day after all of this happened. College kids were going to lose, so they held up a sign saying "Free Hong Kong," #boycott Blizzard, and yeah, their stream was cut off, but they were told no punishments were going to happen, and here are the next dates for your game. Like, it's just, it's stupid.
Yeah, no. Like I said, though, I get it that you want to keep your quote-unquote business partners happy, but not under the fact of the matter where you basically are an American company and you're seriously denying one of your people that are playing in your tournament their rights, because you are an American company. You need to uphold those rights.
Right. I think there is a...
It's like, hey,
it's not their job to uphold the rights.
It's not, but it's like, hey, you know what? You're an American company. You should be able to be like, hey, you know what? We are an American company. Here's how it goes.
Right. You should know where you're standing. And, well, frankly, I guess we do know where they're standing now. It's just not something people are going to put up with.
No.
I mean, China will. And if they get into that market, well, cool. Then, yeah, they will make more money. Good for you. But you're not going to...
I would also like to say one thing, just so anybody who's listening to this is our criticism. If you guys play Blizzard or anything like that, or if you guys support Blizzard,
oh yeah,
by all means, we're not criticizing you.
No, absolutely. Like, here's the thing.
This is our own opinions, so we are speaking how we see it.
It would be really hypocritical for me to say, well, you're stupid for playing Blizzard games when I was still playing Destiny 2 during Bungie's whole shit fest with that on its release. That was awful, you know?
It was. But you know what? Again, guys, so these are all our own opinions on how we see it. If you guys still support Blizzard, hey, kudos to you.
That's fair.
That's also fair, But everything that we talk about on this podcast is our opinions, and our opinions only.
Yeah, and quite frankly, with the route Blizzard's headed, frankly, fuck them. I'm sorry. It's just...
I can't blame you for making that statement, though.
It's too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, for the fact of the matter that we are now, as a gamer and everything like that, we see where a lot of these game companies have been standing lately.
Well, right.
And Blizzard, Not gonna lie, man. Blizzard has put themselves in so much of a hole that if they manage to get out of it, I will give them a round of applause.
I see, and I know you and I've talked about this before, like when this all started. You know where I stand on this. Honestly, I think this hole is too. I don't think they can actually work themselves out of this until they address it right up front. Which, if they don't, BlizzCon's not only going to be awkward as hell, it could really just sink them down even further.
BlizzCon's Blizzard's biggest event.
Well, yeah, literally, people pay money to come from all over the world to celebrate Blizzard and their games. What are they going to celebrate? Like, there's people protesting, and there's a protest readying that has a lot of financial backing right now.
Yeah, and that's actually really, really bad.
Well, it's bad for Blizzard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not bad for the people. It's bad for Blizzard because, hey, here's what you did.
Yeah.
You fucked up so bad that now there's a freaking protest that's ready and is getting financially supported.
Yeah, and like it's not.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and it's relatively decent in size from what I've heard. I've not done a lot of research on it myself. In my opinion, the best way to protest is to just not give them money. That's why I've steered clear of purchasing anything related to Activision or
Blizzard, EA.
Although, if we're going to start doing reviews, then, well, I mean, I'm going to have to suck it up.
Suck it up, buttercup.
But,
do it for the review.
Yeah, yep. But I just think it's important for people to know. BlizzCon's going to be weird, especially since they usually have an open mic for QAs.
And they might not have it now.
It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, but if they don't, it's going to just... It's going to make it worse. And I don't think there's a good way out of this for them.
There isn't. Unless, of course, like you said, they open it directly and they approach the problem head on.
Yeah, well, because, like, what's the character? I don't play Overwatch. Mei? That's the character?
Mei, yeah.
Okay. She,
Or Mei, or I haven't played Overwatch in so long that I forgot some of the hero names.
That's fair. I mean, admittedly, I've only played a bit of WoW. I'm relatively new to the whole Blizzard thing. But, at any rate, there, like, you could go on the Reddit or on Twitter or wherever. She has been turned by gamers. She's been memed into someone who supports #Free Hong Kong. And the goal of this is for players to get it so out there, so known that Overwatch gets banned from China.
Wow.
And funnily enough, when a lot of that stuff started happening, there was a Mei statue people could purchase from Blizzard. Oh, sorry, my phone just went off. From Blizzard's store, one of their stores. She was taken down.
Of course.
So I'm not saying that's directly responsible for it, but that's very coincidental.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the second this character starts getting noticed as a symbol, well, you probably don't want your Chinese overlords to see it.
Yeah.
You know? It's just weird. I'm glad this happened. Not because I want Blizzard to fail, but because it draws a line.
Mm.
And it shows that these companies, they're willing to do whatever. I mean, we've seen them just not really give a shit about what we think because they pander to a specific group of people who either get nostalgic about something, it happens to me, or they pander to people who they know are going to just spend crap loads of money regardless.
And that shouldn't be the case.
Like in-game stuff.
When it's coming down, if you are the owner of a game company or you work in a game company or hell, you know, whatever the case is, your priority should be making a good game that people will want to buy.
What? This is 2019.
And that they will want to enjoy. You know?
We don't think that way anymore.
I know that we don't think that way anymore because, I mean, look at some of the shitty games that we have.
No, seriously, though.
I mean, like, you know, I had high hopes for Breakpoint. Tom Clancy's Breakpoint, you know?
Yeah.
High hopes for it. Again, guys, my own opinion. You play Breakpoint, you enjoy the game, kudos to you. To me, that game is so buggy and glitchy, it's not even fun. It's not even worth the money. That's the fact of the matter. The game hasn't even been out for a year, and there's already a year one pass.
Well, because they were trying to sell it off as a live service, right? I don't know if they were. Ooh, excuse me.
But yeah, it's like for the fact of the matter, it's like there's the standard edition, there's the gold edition, and from what I remember seeing, yeah, there was a year one pass already, and I'm like, so game's not even been out for anywhere near a year, and we're already having that. That doesn't seem good.
Well, again, you have to remember this is also Ubisoft, who day one of Assassin's Creed Odyssey had 7 tabs, 7 full-blown pages, day one of microtransactions to buy, whether it was cosmetics or, hell, better weapons and gear.
Yeah, no.
Like, look, if you're going to put pay-to-win things in single-player games, that tells to me your game is crap and not worth playing.
I like working for things. I like working for the weapons, that kind of thing, you know?
Right.
But, like, you know...
We'll get into something later about this, but...
But it's like, you know, with games nowadays, you know, if they're going to be so buggy and glitchy to where they're not even fun or they're not even playable, I mean, I don't even want to, you know... But again, I let my nostalgia take over. I let my excitement for this Tom Clancy game take over because I've been
You're a Tom Clancy fan.
I'm a Tom Clancy fan.
Yeah, I've known that since I met you.
I love playing, you know, I love playing the Ghost Recon games. But in all honesty, playing this game, seriously guys, I seriously am going to be taking the game back, getting how much ever money I can. I'm going to be buying freaking Wildlands again. I had more fun playing Tom Clancy's Wildlands than I did with Operation Breakpoint.
Is that bad? I mean, you know, I haven't played. I've never really been into Tom Clancy stuff.
I enjoyed Wildlands.
Except Division. Except I heard that was kind of for a Tom Clancy thing.
Yeah. I enjoyed Wildlands, you know. Some people didn't, some people do. I'm one of the people that do.
Cool.
I enjoy it.
Sounds good.
And then you hear that this is basically, I guess, supposed to be quote-unquote a sequel from how I was interpreted, that it was supposed to be a sequel to Wildlands. You know, because you're technically still playing as the exact same guy from Wildlands.
Oh, okay.
His call sign's Nomad.
Okay, I know nothing about this series.
You played as Nomad in Wildlands. You know, you play as Nomad in Breakpoint. But yet the fact of the matter is that when you it's like for the first 20 minutes of the game, I was expecting to sit there and like go around, you know, try to find my squad, you know, like be like because the game starts with, you know, your choppers getting attacked, so you crash land. I'm expecting to sit there and be like, okay, well, now it's time to find my squad. You know, let's find where they are. Let's get out of here. You meet the antagonist way too early. So they were like the suspense. Like, ooh, great, cool. And if you're not playing with other players, you're by yourself. And I'm like, at least with Wildlands, if I wasn't playing with friends, I had a full freaking squad.
Well, and that's something I heard too from a channel I watch, Skill Up. He's a wonderful game reviewer. He's one of the small handful of people I actively watch because I like his opinions on things. Is it true that like a game kind of sets you up as like you're the only one who can do this, and then you're put in like the social hub of like tons of other players? So it's like, well, then I'm clearly not the only one who can do this. Like, why can't we all like group up like in Wildlands, basically?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. That's just...
When you start off in Wildlands, you have 3 other members with you. Granted, they're AIs. So it's you as the player and then 3 AIs.
Okay.
That's your squad. Those 3 other people are your squad. Now, if like you had a friend come in, the other people would leave and it'd just be you and your buddy. Which is like, okay, cool. You know, that's fine. That's not a problem. But you still had backup. You didn't have to go and officially look for people to play with. You know?
Yeah.
If nobody was playing with you in Wildlands, you had the AIs.
Fair.
In Breakpoint, you don't.
Fair.
You don't. If you don't want to play with friends, you might as well just go out and just do it yourself. But it's like, that's so boring and repetitive that's like, why? What's the point?
Well, yeah, and that's another thing, too. Kind of looping that right there, the boring repetitive, back into what we were talking about with, like, these whole... To the extent of that companies are wanting to go to try and get more money out of us and their practices. So, like, Breakpoint had time savers, microtransactions.
Yes.
Which, to me, is absolute bullshit.
I don't like
There's
that.
no reason for you to have pay-to-win elements, in my opinion, in any game. And I understand their excuse, well, I call it an excuse, for people who, quote-unquote, don't have the time. Here's the thing, though, and maybe you can tell me if this sounds a little bit harsh. If you're going to spend $60 on a product, you will find the time to play it.
Yeah, you will.
Because you just spent $60 on it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's fine, but you're not going to get rid of it, and you know it's always there waiting for you. I don't like that excuse of, well, it's to, start, helping the people who don't have a lot of time catch up and get through it quickly. Well, then, quite frankly, what's the point of playing if I can just buy my way to victory?
And what's the point of even buying the game if I can easily just go into your store and be like, hey, there's something that can boost me up to like all the way up to level 50 or something, you know?
Well, and not to mention, when did it become the company's job to worry about my time?
I don't know. I actually can't answer that one.
You know? As far as I know, you're supposed to put out a product that is going to suck up my time.
Yeah.
Because it's a good product.
Exactly. But, you know, I mean, like, no, man, I mean, Breakpoint, to me, most games nowadays, Breakpoint being one of them, had so much potential, you know? And then it's like, the trailers showed promise. The gameplay trailers showed promise. And then you get the actual game. Again, my own opinion, I played the game for 20 fucking minutes. I couldn't even play it. I had no drive to play it. You know, granted, yes, I pre-ordered it because, again, Tom Clancy fan, loved the Ghost Recon series, you know. I was happy. I pre-ordered it. I picked it up. Was happy to go home and play it. I downloaded it, you know, downloaded it in under a day. I jumped right into it. 20 minutes, I put my controller down, and I was like, this is garbage. This is utmost trash.
I shouldn't laugh. It's really not funny, but I'm sorry. It's just... I just laugh because it's not the first time we've had Ubisoft blatantly lie in their marketing. I mean, and that's with any company too.
You know,
not saying it's okay, just it's ridiculous.
You know, I could see past all of this, all of it, of the game being buggy, of the game being really, you know, quote unquote shitty, if one, you actually had a frickin' squad if you weren't playing with friends, and two, if you weren't introduced to the antagonist so early in the fucking game. See, again, granted, sure, we already knew who the antagonist was by some of the trailers. We already knew who he was going to be, you know, who his actor was, what his sole purpose was. But for the fact of the matter, you see him within the first 5 minutes of the game. I'm like, well, that takes away the suspense of knowing who this force is. You know, I mean, you already see the soldiers he.
Oh, it's like they blew their load too early.
Basically.
Gotcha.
You already see who the new force is. They're like a very trained military group called the Wolves. See, I had no problem seeing them right off the bat. Because there's a new force. It's like, oh, this is exciting. This is a new enemy. You know, I wonder who leads them.
Yeah.
Shortly after you see him, you see somebody aiming a gun at one of your ghosts. It's the main antagonist. As he's popping them in the face. And I'm like...
Well, I mean, I think you can introduce your villains early and still pull it off, but not in the way... I don't know how the Ghost Recon stuff usually handles their stuff, so no. I don't know.
To me, not knowing exactly who I'm dealing with right off the bat, for me personally, and my own opinions, adds to the more suspense. Like, you know what? I could seriously would love to have seen it. If, for a good example, when you do see him, you don't see his actual face. Like, he's wearing a mask or something, or like he's wearing like a face guard. You know, so you don't exactly know who he is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what he looks like. You don't know who he is. You don't even know his name. You know, because that was another issue. The ghost that he pops calls him by name. And I'm like, so we already know who he is. We already know what he's doing. I have no interest in even hunting this guy down.
So it just... Okay, fair.
I have no interest in even going after this guy because I already know who he is. I already know what he's doing.
Fair. I mean, I know you have your own specific preferences for how this stuff works, too. I just, like I said, I don't really know much about the Recon series. I never got interested in them.
Wildlands kind of did the exact same thing by introducing their person a little, you know, but I mean, it wasn't like you already instantly saw him. You know, you had intel on him. You know, you didn't officially see, you know, like, sure, you saw him, like, you know, like, little clips of, like, him with, like, his cartel members, you know, and everything like that, of, like, him talking or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? But I didn't see him within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, so you had, like at the beginning of a mission, an intel report.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I didn't officially see him.
Right, you didn't encounter him.
Yeah,
early.
No, I saw him through intel. I didn't officially encounter him.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, it's... Yeah, no, I've seen some reviews on Breakpoint. We both have, and...
I wasn't happy with it. You know, again, I let my nostalgia take over. I let my excitement take over till I pre-ordered it. And you know what? Granted, guys, I should have waited for a review, in all honesty. But again, I was so overly excited.
Right, because it plays on your Tom Clancy.
Yeah, it was a new Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon.
you know, and then I play it, and quite frankly, guys, if you enjoy the game, kudos to you, round of applause to you guys right now, but
well,
I just can't play it.
Oh, it's like how I feel about Anthem.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, if you actually enjoy that game, you know what? Good for you. We will never bash on the individual.
No.
Unless they're being an asshole to us. But but even then, we won't, like, really say, it's like, all right, fine, you can just do you. You do you. That's fine. But my God, that game is just so bad.
Yeah. For the fact of the matter, it made me want to return it after the first night.
I mean, I never bought it. I'm kind of glad my skepticism hit in there, despite the fact it's BioWare. But I was like, all we're seeing is flying in these trailers. They haven't been too open with a lot of stuff. They just keep showing concept art. It's cool, but I think I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
However, I'm kind of glad you brought up Breakpoint though, because that actually transitions nicely into the next topic. So first off, shame on you, Blizzard. Whatever is coming to you, you deserve. Frankly.
Yeah.
As sad as it is.
Unless, of course, you guys open up your eyes, don't expect any support from me.
Yeah, no, same. Well, I think their eyes are open. I just don't think they care.
Could be.
I mean, they see their eyes on the money.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Cha-ching, money makes the world go round, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, even the president of the company's statement was just...
It was shitty.
It was PR, and that's it. It was a non-apology. But anyway, that lets us transition into another actually Activision-related thing. This one's not necessarily bad, depending on how they go about doing it, but knowing Activision, it wouldn't surprise me if they fuck it up somehow. So, you play a lot more Call of Duty than I do. I've played and finished 3 of them. I played and finished Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and just because I thought it was an interesting idea, Advanced Warfare. Those are the 2 I've actively played and finished, or the 3 I've actively played and finished, and Black Ops 1 will forever be my favorite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Modern Warfare 2 people. But one of the biggest problems, I would say, is Activision's push on the whole loot box fiasco. I mean, hell, look at Black Ops 4 with the Battle Royale mode. Here, the microtransactions alone just got so bad, whether it was loot boxes or not. Like, spend $1 or $2 and get a red dot reticle.
Let me. I'm gonna say this right now. For me personally, the only way I ever buy loot boxes is if, one, your game is free. That's the main number one reason. If I'm only having to pay $60 for a fucking game, don't expect me to pay any more money than that.
Yeah.
You know, because again, why am I having to pay $60? You know, and then
right.
You want to know? That's why originally. Well, because it's one of your personal favorites. It was one of my personal favorites too. We'll go back to Black Ops 1 here. Okay.
Oh God.
We'll go back to the original. The original Call of Duties from Black Ops 2, we'll leave Black Ops 3 out of it because I had loot boxes, Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
We're going back to the classics. Not like the remastered bullshit. We're going back to the classics like when they were back on 360.
Yeah. And by the way, I did play Modern Warfare 2. I just never finished it.
Yeah. Loved Modern Warfare 2. I love all the Modern Warfares. But see, for me, those games didn't need fucking loot boxes. Because you know what? Like, seriously, I would sit there and play with online friends in Modern Warfare 2, okay? Mm-hmm. I played that one a lot because I loved the multiplayer. The multiplayer was phenomenal. It was so beautifully well done.
I really enjoyed the multiplayer for that one.
But the thing is, after a match, I didn't need to go spend like $3 to get like a new gun or something like that, or like a new reticle or a new scope or a new camo.
Right.
I earned that shit.
Right. And I bet you felt pretty damn good when you got it too,
I
didn't
did.
you?
You know something? The one gun I always wanted, and I would see people running it right now all the freaking time. It made me want it even more. Was a gun called the ACR.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That one was like, if I'm not mistaken, was like a rank 37 gun.
I have no idea, but I remember that gun because it killed me a lot.
Yeah, well you see, but okay, so I haven't played Modern Warfare 2 in a while. I haven't really played Modern Warfare in a while. So if my, obviously my leveling is off,
Yeah,
so,
it's okay.
It's like
we're only human, man.
But like again, see, we'll just say it was like rank 37. Okay, as an example, a rank 37 gun. I didn't need no booster packs. All I needed to do was grind matches.
Right.
And that leveled me up so fucking much to where by the time I got the gun and all the freaking attachments on it that I wanted, I felt achieved. I felt like I'm the ultimate badass because I ranked up so fucking much to achieve what I wanted.
Right. And when you have what you want and people notice it, they can look at that and go, well, they can look at that and say two things. Either, well, actually both. One, first off, holy shit, that guy worked his ass off to get that. Good for him. Two, I have the same drive now. I want to play more of this game.
Yeah. But see, now with like the loot boxes, it takes the fun away. You know, like, dude, even for crying out loud, the fact of the matter that I cannot seriously just play games to, you know, with like a certain weapon to mastery rank it to unlock like specific camos for that particular gun, to where it's like I can now seriously just go like, granted, you still can't do that, you know.
Well, yeah, but they dial the grind to like 5,000.
Yeah.
So that you're more enticed to buy the shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, really? Like, do you know how much of a pain in the ass it was to get the gold fucking camo? You had to...
How much? In which game?
Like Modern Warfare. Like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, to get the golden camo for your guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
there's a reason the only time I ever had the gold skin, sorry to interrupt, was in the single custom matchmaking. You know, the custom games.
Seriously.
Because I wasn't as invested. But
No.
go ahead.
But see, like, you had to, like, do a lot of things with that particular gun. You had to unlock all the camos. You had to do all this. You know, you had to unlock everything camo-wise just to unlock the fucking gold camo.
Yeah.
So you felt that drive, you know?
If you wanted it, you would
went
find a
for
way to do it.
But now it seems like with Call of Duty nowadays, it's like...
Well, yeah, because, I mean...
And the camos, too... Sorry to interrupt. The
go
camos,
ahead.
too, nowadays, to me, seem so fucking bland that it's like, they're not even worth it. I might as well just keep my gun their regular color.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing, too, is it waters down the quality, but it also waters down the excitement. Because it's like what I was saying earlier, and I'm going to use Halo as an example. There were certain armor pieces in Halo Reach. Obviously, you can't get them unless you rank up. How did you rank up? You had to grind your ass off. But you would have the one thing very few others, if any others, would have. And that stood out. And people would look at that and go, holy crap, that's awesome.
Like, I can't tell you, dude, how many times I got messaged by new people when I had a Mule's helmet.
Oh,
Going, how did you get that?
Yeah.
It's like, you grind. You grind for it.
yeah, I was so happy when I got that. And look, I think there's a difference between a grind that's actually rewarding versus a grind that forces you.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Earning it through a grind is one thing. Forcing you to grind to obtain something you want is not good.
No. You know something, too? What I actually like with this, okay? Granted, I can see it with, like, some DLCs, okay? So, back with the Call of Duty thing.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2. Every single gun in that game, I could unlock just by leveling up. Nowadays, it seems like, hey, you want this particular gun? You could randomly get it out of a loot box. Really?
Well, right, and that's
There's no
another
special
thing.
way I can get, like, you know, like there was an SMG that I want so bad that I wanted so bad on World War II. Okay, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was an SMG that had incredible accuracy, incredible firepower.
Oh, so it's pay to win. Because you could buy it, right?
No.
Okay,
Here's
sorry.
the thing. Either one,
Sorry, jumping the gun.
or technically, no, I didn't have the option to buy it. My only option of possibly getting this was to get it out of a fucking loot box.
Oh, yeah, well, that's because that's their method of trying to get you to buy one.
And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Granted, World War II, though, you didn't always need to buy them. You could just earn them. But the chances of you, like, when you level up, you can get battle packs by chance, or you can rent, you know, you can get a battle pack, or you can even get battle packs by, you know, completing bounties.
Yeah,
You know.
and there's a
But
point
see,
I
you
want to
don't-
make to this, too.
You don't need to personally buy the battle pack. You can earn them. You know? And that's what I liked. I was like, hey, I don't need to go and spend $5 on a bundle. I can seriously just do, like, certain bounties that once I complete them, it gives me a battle pack so I can open it and maybe get some good loot out of it.
Yeah.
Some good things. Granted, half the time, it was more like calling cards, you know, like different, like, outfits for your characters. You know,
Yeah.
It wasn't anything too serious. But once you see, like, hey, you have a chance of getting this particular gun, but you have to use a battle pack to get it, it's like, well, my chances seriously of getting this gun went from 0 to 1,000.
Right.
Because it's not like I can get a freaking bundle that's like guns.
Well,
It had to
and-
be a random draw.
When you look at that from, like, the broad perspective, when you look at all that stuff, how does it benefit the game? It doesn't for you. It entices you to spend more money on packs for the people at Activision to make their money. And, you know, and here's another thing, too. You said level up. not every game needs a leveling system now.
No.
Call of Duty, I don't think, ever needed a leveling system. It feels like a lot of these games are getting leveling systems now just so they can put these mechanics in. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's been going on for a good long while.
Some games, actually, I think definitely tied in so well. A good few examples. Dragon Age.
Well, yeah, but Dragon Age is an RPG.
Skyrim.
Also an RPG.
You know.
Not a first-person shooter.
But again, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean, but those games are built from the ground up to be a role-play game.
That is true.
Where leveling, if it's based off of D&D, it matters. But before we get too derailed off of this, the reason I bring up the whole loot box thing is because Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one, is not going to have them.
You said it's going to have a battle pass.
It's getting a battle pass. And I feel like part of it's because... And I don't know how easy it is to implement a battle pass from loot boxes, but there's a part of me that says it's them backtracking from the huge shitstorm that they got when people found out there were going to be some sort of paying for something. And people just assumed it's loot boxes because it's Activision. That said, I think depending on what's in the battle pass, I think that's kind of a more fair model.
Mm-hmm. If I can see what I'm going to be earning at certain ranks, I have no problem with it. But if it's... You know, like...
I do have a problem, but go ahead.
Good example.
I'll tell you mine when I'm...
Destiny 2 Shadow Keeps, you know, the Season of the Undying.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Does have a battle pass.
It does have a battle pass. But it shows you exactly what you're getting at that particular rank. And it makes you want to work for it, like we mentioned. You know, it makes you want to work for it to be like, hey, you know, when you achieve it, it's like...
Yeah, you're not grinding for random boxes that are going to drop... duplicates or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know.
Granted, though, you can get the engrams, which technically those are random oriented. You know, quote unquote. But it's not a loot box, though.
Well, right.
You know, that's the big difference. But again, it's like if it's a random reward.
Are you talking about like the Prime engrams?
Like the actual engrams that you can get in the battle pass, like, you know, the exotic engrams, the legendary engrams. Those are all random generated.
Okay, so like, yeah, because like the primes and the exotics you can. The nostalgics are definitely loot boxes, but there's a difference here. First off, the Eververse is shoved so far to the back of your mind in that game that, and it's free to play.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, I have no problem.
Yeah,
but it's like, see, the issue I would have with this with this battle pass in Modern Warfare. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play it. Granted, because
I'm not sure either. It looks good.
It does.
But
it looks great. I'm glad that they're actually finally bringing the campaign back.
Yeah. God, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, let's replace the campaign with a battle royale. We have enough fucking battle royales, guys.
What are you talking about? We need at least another 100.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Seriously, like, battle royales to me have lately become so fucking overused.
Well, it's because it was the trend. And so everyone wanted to capitalize on it.
But, you know, it shouldn't matter if it's a trend or not. You know, you should keep going in your own direction. Don't fall in somebody else's direction just because you want to please people. It's like, dude, seriously, I'm not going to lie. Black Ops 4, okay, I played it. I played the multiplayer. Did not once touch the Battle Royale. Why? Because, one, Battle Royales to me, my personal opinion only, are stupid.
Yeah, you're not a fan of them.
And it's overrated.
I know, you're really not a fan
overrated.
of them. I mean, I'm not to an extent. I had fun on some of them.
If you
not
like
Fortnite,
Battle Royales, more power to you.
I think the only one I've actually enjoyed was Realm, but even that, I didn't play that for very long. And it was free.
Yeah, no kidding. But it's like, if you enjoy Battle Royales, more power to you. I can't get into them. They're overrated and they're stupid. For the fact, you know...
We just got downvoted by however many million Fortnite players. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Fortnite, okay?
Oh.
Sorry to anybody who plays with, but fuck that, okay?
That's... All right, anyway. Let's move on.
But it's like... Seriously. There was... God. But it's like, yo, all the way up until Black Ops 4, Call of Duty's always had a campaign. And then all of a sudden, we're taking that out to, you know, make room for an online-only game. I shouldn't have to be online to play your fucking game that's had a campaign ever since Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty.
Well, and that's a whole topic. That's partly why a lot of people... I think people are more complacent with it now, but the whole live service thing it's a big problem with a lot of people because it puts way more control in the companies. Mm-hmm. And if a lot of these companies are doing the whole games as a service. That means you don't own them, but you're still paying full price for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what if they turn out like shit, like Anthem or Fallout 76? This is garbage. We're going to be talking about Fallout 76 on this podcast because we got some news.
We got some
news. But I think as far as the battle pass for Modern Warfare, I have a few things I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
As someone who doesn't play a lot of Call of Duty, but I hope the battle pass does not contain, and maybe there's been an update. I don't know. I just know there's a battle pass in the game as of the time of recording this.
Of course.
No guns.
Good.
Like, that's what I hope. There's no guns. Like, I hope there's no way for it to be pay to win at all. Mm-hmm. If anything, keep it cosmetic if you have to have it. And even then, while I think it's a better system, I think it's still a lesser evil, because if it's going to be there day one, why can't you just have all that shit that's on the disc be available to me who paid $60 or more for this game?
That's too easy.
Like, I understand if you want to put in a battle pass system later, full of stuff that's not in the game when your game is complete.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. Let's be real. That's a perfect world. That's never going to happen.
No.
So, I think it's going to boil down... I think this battle pass experiment of theirs, I think it's going to hinder mostly on if it's going to have actual guns in it.
We'll have to wait and see, because the game, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't officially release until the 25th of this month.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Which, I mean, and, we just have to wait and see, with some of these games that are coming out, I mean, I do see potential in them, but I'm just hoping that they are good,
Well, and that's the thing, too.
I don't like hearing fellow gamers, you being one of them, anybody that's listening to this, paying $60 or full price, no matter what the game is, no matter what the fucking title is of the game. It could be, Mass Effect, it could be Halo, it could be Call of Duty, it could be Fallout, it could be anything, any particular title, and then they waste their hard-earned money on it just for the game to be absolute crap.
Yeah.
Towards, it's not even worth the buy.
Right.
I never wish that upon anyone.
No, and I want to wish the best for a game.
Oh, I do too.
But now that we have the internet where we know everything that goes on, or maybe not everything, but a lot that goes on with these companies and whatnot, and their practices in the games and how they're treating all this, I mean, yeah, of course people are going to get pissed off when shit like this happens, because we know about it now. Back in the day when maybe it's like a magazine article, it was a lot harder to get the information out.
Because you didn't know if it was true or if it was just, people...
Right, you didn't know until you actually bought it. Well, now we know everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of things before it's released.
Oh, absolutely.
And at the same time, we also don't know everything, because look at the launch of Anthem or Fallout 76.
Which, Fallout 76. Let's get on that now.
Okay, alright, so... It's time to talk about our favorite train wreck, or at least my favorite train wreck of the last year. Bethesda, you've gone down such a shitter hole that I can't... It's crazy that they've done so much reputation damage to themselves in the last, 11 months.
And for the fact of the matter, too, that with Fallout 76, they tried to fix it, then they just broke the game even worse.
Well, yeah, because I know there was a time, and from what I hear, most of it's still not fixed. I'm not sure. I don't play the game. I have no interest.
I refused
the last time I heard anything about it was, I think, a few weeks ago. I heard or maybe it was a few months ago. I don't really remember. Like I said, I don't follow it often. When I heard that there was a patch to put some things in, totally broke the game.
Yeah, of course.
Again, and we have reports of people still falling through the map still, and I'm like, oh my god, stop! There was one thing I actually saw this on Angry Joe's show. They have one of their weekly news things. They were talking about how they're called I think it was death zones.
Yeah.
And literally, all it is an NPC or a player, because there really aren't that many NPCs.
No, there's hardly any.
And when an attack is made, it wouldn't register, but the attack would hover in this zone, and it would just build attacks, damage. And so if a player just randomly walks in that zone, all that attack just goes on them, and it kills them instantly. Players were avoid this zone for a while, because if you walk in there, you're just going to die. And I'm like, what the hell?
That seems broken in so many ways.
I mean, yeah, so anyway, we were talking about NPCs. So Fallout 76, okay, disregarding Fallout 76 for a second.
Okay.
When you hear Fallout, what comes to your mind?
Like Fallout in general?
Yeah, like Fallout as a series.
Okay. I think of an open world game.
And I'll tell you what mine are, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of an open world game being able to, you know, explore almost basically anywhere in the area that you're in. With Fallout 4, it was the Commonwealth. Gorgeous. Absolute gorgeousness, you know. You were able to basically go anywhere. You could encounter almost anything. You know, you could loot almost anything.
Yeah.
And get better gear. You know. But it was the open world, and the story, in my opinion, was also good. The side quests, some of them could have been better. But,
Yeah,
you know.
that's fair. And I do think the story, personally, sorry to interrupt, I do think the story personally could have been better, but it was my introduction to Fallout. I still enjoyed it.
It was good. Being able to customize your character, making them look how you want to look.
Their character customizer was awesome.
Uh-huh. Being able... Dude, it came with the fact of the matter, like with Fallout 4, one of my all-time favorite Fallouts, you could seriously give yourself a name, and your freaking robot servant would call you by that certain
Oh,
name.
yeah, Cogsworth. Codsworth. Fucking love Codsworth, except my name wasn't in there.
Yeah,
sadly.
no, my name wasn't on the list either, so I just went with a
Sadly.
random name that was.
But you know, names like Mr. Tits and Boobies. You know, of course.
Mr. Fuckface.
Of course. You know. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no,
but not Travis. No,
not
so that's
Travis
fine.
or
I'll just
AJ,
go
you
sit in
know.
my corner.
But that's what I see. And you know what? With Fallout 76, when I heard, for a good example, that we would actually be able to explore this wasteland with friends, I was like, wow, a new concept. A concept that could work. A concept that would be fun. Then you get the game. This doesn't work at all.
yeah, no, it didn't. So when I hear Fallout,
Yeah.
here's what I think. Kind of same to you, open world, just because that's what I'm used to. But the
more
biggest
fun.
thing I think of is the interesting characters.
Yes.
I think of the interesting quests that are given. The roleplay aspect, huge. And one of the key features of that roleplay are the people you meet, the people who've survived in this wasteland for so long. Well, Fallout 76 didn't have that.
No.
Todd went on stage and said where every NPC you see, or where every character you see, is another player. In concept, that's not a bad idea, but you have to remember this is a Fallout game. I think if it was any other IP, you could have gotten away with it better. But when you put Fallout on it, there's an expectation because Fallout is known as a role-play game, always has been.
Yeah.
And how can you role-play?
When there's nobody to actually talk to.
Yeah, look, trying to put that on players, it's never going to happen. Players will never role-play all the time. To that degree, like an NPC.
No.
Never.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
And with Fallout 4, man, I mean, heck, dude, seriously. With NPCs in the Fallout series, Fallout 4, I think, had the best, in my opinion. Some of the random conversations that you could hear from NPCs in, like, your settlement or, like, other settlements were actually really funny to listen to, or sometimes will take you by surprise.
See, I still want to play Fallout 1 just because you can make your character an idiot. And people will talk to you like you're an idiot. And I just think that's the most hilarious thing ever.
But see, I don't know, man. I mean, Fallout 76 to me, dude, it shouldn't have even been called a Fallout game.
No.
I mean, granted, yeah, it had the Fallout aspect. You know, you're in the vault. you're
Right. You're in the world of the wasteland.
But the game is so boring. I mean, for crying out loud, man. Dude, us watching his review, Angry Joe fell asleep while playing the game, for crying out
Oh,
loud.
I watched many different reviews because I was like, ooh, I would love to hear people say how bad this game is because it is. It's terrible.
It's trash.
And arguably... sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
But if you guys play the game and you find fun in it, we're not bashing on you.
No, I have personal friends who play it and love it, and I'm like, you know what? That's awesome. And they totally understand when I shit on it because they totally get why.
It's like, yo, for the fact of the matter, like some of the issues I've seen, which not only coming from reviews, but from what I've personally seen from like people playing it, half the time when the enemies come at you, they're stuck in a T-pose,
Oh my god.
so they're not even threatening. The graphics
Oh,
don't render properly, so it looks like you're playing a PS1 game.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a disservice to PS1 games.
I mean, like graphic-wise, it's on the fucking PS4
No,
and
it looks
Xbox
terrible.
One for crying out loud. The graphics look terrible.
It's just ugly.
The fact of the matter, I could fall through the map just by taking a step, and I'm through the map. Ooh. For the fact of the matter, enemies would just randomly pop up in front of me. And my biggest problem, for the fact of the matter, I could be in an area that's recommended for level 5s. And I could be a level 5. And all of a sudden, there's a level 75 freaking Deathclaw.
Yeah.
That's broke.
Well, now a death zone, too.
How are players supposed to kill something that's like 70 levels higher than them in the area that's requested for their level?
Well, okay, and so kind of coming back to this NPC thing. So NPCs are a big staple of Fallout.
Yes.
And
love them.
They were supposed to, Bethesda came out a while back and said they were going to add NPCs with branching dialogues and...
Why didn't they just do that at launch?
Yeah, because they rushed it out. Anyway, with branching dialogues and giving quests and whatnot, because as of now, it's like, it's a few computers, and that's it.
Yeah.
So they were going to do that, and I was like, okay, I feel like that's actually a small step, but a step in the right direction.
That's a small step for Bethesda.
A long step away from anything good. And, well, news came out in the last day or so. It's getting delayed.
Why?
It was supposed to come out before this year is over, and now we could be seeing it as late as March 31st.
Why did it get delayed, though? What's their excuse?
Because, well, basically, it boils down to, they want to make sure it's the best product possible on release when it's ready. Now, look, normally, that's a great thing to say. In the case of Fallout 76, and it's been out for a year, and it still has technical problems out the ass. Oh my god, take that attitude and fuck off. Like, I'm sorry, you had your chance, and you're blowing it still.
Again, you know, like, there's so many issues with the game. For the fact of the matter, there's, what, a 3.5 hour long video of nothing but bugs and glitches?
Yeah, from its launch. That was or the Fall of 76 by Internet Historian. That's such a funny video.
You know,
but
again,
it's sad, too.
We're not dissing on anybody who plays the game. You play the
Absolutely
game
not.
and enjoy every moment of it.
Yeah, don't take this as a personal attack. We're not attacking you.
We're not attacking
I'm saying
you,
that now because I know people will take it personally. Because I've felt that way too about Destiny before, and I just got to remember, no, it's not anything personal.
It's not personal.
And Bungie had it coming at the time.
Yeah, and it's not personal, guys. These are all our own opinions, you know.
Yeah, it's... So I looked at that and I meant, man, you know, it's one blunder after another with this game. You know, apart from like the moldy helmet fiasco with the GameStop helmets, you know, for Fallout that they had to recall. I mean, seriously, it's over a year old, this game, and we're still having these problem conversations about it.
The game could have been good had it not been rushed.
In concept, it's fantastic. Like, take Fallout 4 and just add the fact that I could play with you.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty fun. Oh, God. And I know some people have said, oh, it's not because of the engine. Okay, frankly, I don't think the creation engine is properly suited for this. No. Not for as fast as they rushed it out.
And for the fact of the matter, again, people have been falling asleep about it. You know, I mean, people were falling asleep while playing it.
It's boring from what I've seen.
You know, the gameplay is boring. There's nothing really in it that keeps me going. You know, that would have kept me on wanting to play it, you know? Because when I completed the quest... You know, it's like, with Fallout 4, man, when I completed a quest, like, if it was a challenging one, awesome.
Yeah.
I felt accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, I just took down, like, 3 Deathclaws just to get this one quest done. Awesome. You know, Fallout 76. Go collect me some cans. Where am I supposed to go for those?
Why does a computer need cans? One of my favorite clips is from Joe's review, and you see Delrith playing, and a nuke falls on this little settlement, and he's laughing. He's like, that's what you get for telling me to go collect cans, motherfucker. I'm like, oh my god, that's probably what I would do.
It's like, go collect me some cans, go turn it on a valve to get the water cleaned up or something like that. And I'm like, where's the joy in that?
Well, you're right. Like, no offense, but I should be exploring the wasteland. Like, I don't know, give me a storyline with like some weird, I don't know, cult.
Yeah,
you know,
something.
worshipping, I don't know, like that cult in Fallout 3. or that city that's built around the bomb, and they like, and there's like people who worship it. That's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Turning a fucking, sorry about that, Mike. Turning a fucking valve. I just totally hit the cord. Turning a valve. Really?
I mean, come on. Like, here's another.
I get fetch quests in a game like this, but not to that degree.
No.
Come on.
Okay, like if we're talking Bethesda products here, like even Skyrim has a group of cultists that worship this one guy. You know, that's clever because why? Well, for the fact of the matter, when they find out that you are quote unquote claiming to be the Dragonborn, when there's already a Dragonborn, what's their sole purpose? They're gonna kill you.
They're gonna come confront your ass and kill you. That's interesting. Anyone, and you know, because that's actually funny, because in Skyrim you also have just random ass people who come to kill you just because.
Yeah.
Actually, not even that. Most of them do have a purpose. You'll find like a note on them.
Yeah. Like, I accidentally, one time while playing Skyrim a while back, I accidentally jacked this guy's horse. By mistake, I stole it. And then all of a sudden this guy
Accidentally. Allegedly.
Allegedly stole it. But shortly after that, I have some dude running at me. And he was all hooded. He comes running at me and starts attacking me with a knife. So I kill him and I find a note going like, go after this player. He stole my horse. I'm like, asshole.
He tried to get someone to kill you. That's funny.
But see, again, that was great. And then you run into the cultists, a good example. You kill them, and you actually find from, if I'm not mistaken, it was from Mirak himself.
Yeah.
Saying, go find this player, kill him, because he's proclaiming himself as a Dragonborn. He cannot exist.
Right. Well, and so there you go. Like Fallout 76, you just lost for now the best chance at having anything interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, having characters adds character. Seriously,
it makes the game more interactive.
You would think of all people, Bethesda would know this.
Bethesda's been responsible for so many good games.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Now, granted, they've all had their problems, but never to this degree.
Every game company will have their problems.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Bungie.
Oh, God.
Activision.
So, yeah, it just sucks to see, because I'm sure a lot of people were looking. Well, all like 2 people still playing Fallout 76. We're probably looking forward to that, and now it's delayed for now until first quarter of next year. So anyway, anytime between January and I think the article said March 31st. But that is
next year.
Yeah, but that is, and you know, that's not even including the games it's competing against. Like, that's assuming the game survives. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not free to play yet. Mm-mm. I mean, I still don't think it'd be worth it, but
no. With how much issues there are with the game, even if it was free to play, I wouldn't touch it.
Well, we can add one more issue to that, because we got one other thing to talk about with Fallout 76 here that I held off of talking to you about earlier, because I want to see yeah.
Hit me. What do you got?
So the NPC one I thought was one of the bigger ones, because it's actually game changing, you know, and it's disappointing. Well, Bethesda put out a statement.
Okay.
Get ready for this. So originally, their Atom shop was cosmetics only. I could see that look. Well, and that's what they said they were going to uphold. Now, granted, they haven't held true to that, because you have refrigerators and backpacks and whatnot, things that actually do, you know, keep your food, you know, it affects gameplay. Okay. Not necessarily pay to win, but it helps you, well, kind of helps you pay to win at the game, because if you can keep your food better in like a fridge, that helps your survival, right?
Yeah, food that could food that's in a wasteland that could easily be good, but in a fridge.
In the Indiana Jones fridge. Yeah, you know, that makes sense. I didn't think about that until now. Either way, well, Bethesda put out a statement, and as soon as I read it, I was like, this is beautiful. You're just another hole to throw your shit in on top of this poor game. So Bethesda backpedal. They put out a statement when the NPC
got
delayed that they are now changing their minds essentially on the cosmetic only part of the Atom shop. And they're basically, from now on, they're essentially going to just be adding more convenient stuff, things that actually affect gameplay going forward, that you can pay real money on in the Atom shop. And get this, that face, I love that face. I wish we had a camera for that. But do you know what their reasoning for it was?
Not enough fan base?
No. based on community feedback. Let that sink in. Based on community feedback, well, not me, the players demanded. They didn't say demanded, at least, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask
but based on community feedback, the players, they just can't get enough of that. Let me pay for more pay-to-win stuff.
So let me ask this. When you say community, okay?
Yeah, all two of them.
Are you saying a community as in the people who play your shitty game, or are you meaning the community at your business?
I'm sorry. Look, this game is just, it's gone so far down the rabbit hole.
It's a train wreck.
It's my favorite train wreck. It really is. And that's sad considering it's Bethesda. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on this?
On the
Yeah.
There's no need for it. The game's already a train wreck as it is. This is just going to make it even more of a train wreck.
Yeah. Maybe they're looking at it as it's a dumpster fire. Let's just pour more gas on it.
Quote unquote.
Fuck it.
Quote unquote the community. Now, again, which community? The community of players or Bethesda's community?
Yeah, so quite a few people, myself included, are like, when people say you want more things implemented into the game, they don't mean these items to buy in a $60 game I already bought. Now, granted, I'm sure anyone who's playing it now probably bought it when it was $15, like a week and a half after its launch.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which is retarded.
Shows you right there a good example that the game's not even worth the fucking money. And again, if you want to make updates to give us items in the game, then put the items in the game without there having to be a freaking paywall.
Yeah, I think this is not the time to add anything more to the item shop. I think this is the time, focus on your game getting fixed.
And for the matter too, even Todd jokes about the game. It's like, you're just going to joke about a game that you were claiming was going to be the best game of the series that turned into a complete train wreck and basically dropped down in price almost $30 in 1 week.
Oh, no, it did. A week after its launch, it was $35. Yeah. And then what was it? Internet Historian. In some countries, they just started giving them away because
some companies
they had to get rid of them.
Some companies even zip tied them to products just to get rid of the freaking game.
Which is funny considering you have to go through Bethesda's own launcher on PC, but there's no disc for the game. You look at these decisions and you go, okay, either you've just lost all common sense, or you don't give a crap anymore.
I'm going to go with option 2.
And if you don't give a crap anymore, then why should I give a crap?
Yeah. I'm going to go with option 2, because if Bethesda really cared about this game, Todd in particular, because I know he's the one pulling the strings.
Well, I mean, he is, yeah. But he does have a crucial point to play here.
If he cared so much about this game, he would not be worrying about putting in these other things that have to be paid by real money just to purchase. He would care about maybe, I don't know, good example, maybe, even though it's going to be hard to do, maybe putting the game back into production and getting it finished up and then releasing it. But again, I know that's not possible.
Well, and just...
But it's an idea. Seriously, if the game's not finished, put it back in production, as like if I wanted to sign in as it, okay? Like if they wanted to put it back into production to finish it up and make it better, and somebody wants to log into the game, that plays it, maybe put up a message saying, currently experiencing technical difficulties, the game will be down for this long, and have a timer for how long the game's going to be down.
Right, and and that's not impossible, because Final Fantasy XIV went through something kind of similar. I'm not going to say exactly the same, because at least from what I understand, yeah, that game had its problems, but they pulled it from shelves, and they took it down for a while, and they revamped it. That is now one of the most successful MMOs you can find today.
Exactly.
Because they weren't afraid to pull it down completely and fix it.
Because they wanted a good game.
Yeah.
But see, yeah, if I, quote unquote, not saying I will, not saying I ever will, if I was one of the players that are playing Fallout 76 right now, and they wanted to redo the game to make it better, yeah, just put up a note saying, game's currently down, it's going to be down for this long,
yeah,
come back in this amount of time, and the game will be ready. And then, during that time, reproduce the game, fix your bugs, make the game playable, make the game fun, add every single update that needs to be in that game to actually make it to where people want to play it,
Yeah.
and then maybe, just maybe, you'll get your fan base back.
Yeah, look, I think if you
And take
buckle...
out the freaking Atom system.
Look, yeah, and that's another thing too, is it was trying to be its own live service game, like how Destiny was originally. You know, and technically it still is, but it's gearing towards that MMO.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit different now, but it was again, live. Here's the thing: if your live service is garbage,
Don't be adding
I'm not
more to it.
paying for it,
And don't be adding more to it.
and I expect a refund. Which is why when people are all up in arms about not being able to get a refund, yeah, I completely understand why people were wanting to sue your ass into the ground.
I mean, there's even
unacceptable.
there's even that video of the guy trashing a GameStop because he couldn't return his game.
Yeah, I've heard that's why he did it. I heard that wasn't why. It's a big thing. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Yeah, but it's seriously like, and like kind of quoting, some of the Atom systems too in that game was so stupid. Kind of to quote, like there was a piece of power armor that made your power armor look like the Voltec blue.
Oh yeah,
It
was like 18 something.
like 1800 or something like that. But still, that's like $5 or something like that. Or I don't know how much. Okay, I don't care because I hate the Atom systems. I think it's stupid.
Actually, I do know how much that is, but go ahead, I'll tell you after.
Or it was something like that. Maybe I'm thinking it's too high. Maybe it was only like 8. Maybe it was only 5. I don't care.
500 atoms is $5,
Yeah. So
that's $18.
but again, it's kind of to quote Angry Joe here. Blue. You're gonna charge me for blue.
Right. Well, right.
It was blue and yellow. At least with Fallout 4, if I wanted to make my armor look different, I could go and find magazines, and it would unlock.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing too, is a lot of the assets in that game that you could pay for were just ripped straight from Fallout 4. It's like, well, then I'll just go play Fallout 4.
Yeah, I'll just go play Fallout 4, a game that's actually fixed, a game
stable.
that actually works, and
Yeah.
a game that doesn't break unless I mod the shit out of it.
But even then, it can still run better.
Yeah, but it's one of those things though, where it's like, really, you're seriously gonna charge me $18 for something that has no use to me, and you're seriously expecting me to pay $60 for an already shitty fucking game, and then spend an extra 20?
Be a good whale and spend the money. Damn it.
So you seriously want me to
dude.
pay almost $100, almost $100 fucking bucks? Really?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry. No.
No, absolutely not.
That $60, or plus that 20, I could have put towards something else. Mm-hmm.
Something more worth the time.
Yeah, like, dude, seriously, I could have easily had taken that $80 and put it towards a bundle, to where I could have gotten Skyrim and Fallout 4 in just one bundle.
Well, and look, no one's beholden
No,
to your game, and if they need a refund, they can
give them the fucking refund.
or else there's gonna be problems. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of that. It's ridiculous.
But according to Bethesda, well, we can't give you a refund. Bullshit.
I'm not sure if that's the case now. I know how it was.
When
I
it
know
first
that's how it
launched.
was. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is, but that's because I have like no interest in the game.
But it's like, yo, I'm sorry to say, but it's like me as the purchaser of your shitty ass game should have every fucking right to go back to the game store, put that game on the counter, and say, I want my $60 fucking bucks back.
Well, right. It's not. I mean, look. Like, compare it to if you go to a restaurant. If you
what-
go to a restaurant and you buy like spaghetti, and you get like a fucking noodle with a slice of ham on it. Yeah, no, you better. Yeah, no. Either give me my $20 or whatever, or replace it. And most
Or
companies.
I ain't paying for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? I think in all honesty, Bethesda did that on purpose with the whole cardboard thing. Like when it was the cardboard disc with the code.
Oh, well, yeah, they held all the power. You could only get the game through their launcher on PC.
Which
It
was
wasn't on
stupid.
Steam, and that was such a train. That game's just such a train.
See, that is why exactly I am so glad I didn't spend any money on it.
Oh yeah, me too.
The only reason why I did play it, but the only reason why I played it was because it was kind of like with Anthem. A buddy wanted me to try it and see how I liked it.
And that's fair.
So I did. This was before I knew how broken it was. Okay?
I'm so sorry for you.
I played it.
I should have talked to you more about it.
Again, I played it, thinking because it was a Fallout game. So I'm like, cool, let's play it.
Right,
Let's give
because it
a shot.
sells on the name.
Yeah.
You know what to expect from a Fallout game.
I was not expecting that.
What do you mean? You don't want a traveling merchant that's a Deathclaw?
I don't want a traveling merchant that's a Deathclaw. I don't want to fall through the map. I don't want to have to worry about
zones.
A death zones, a freaking ghoul popping up in front of me when I can just be walking down the street, or a freaking group of ghouls running at me in the freaking T-pose.
Yeah, I'm not laughing because I think it's good funny. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And when you see like Todd making jokes about like, look, it was cute at one point. Fucking fix it. Because people now are done with your attitude. Like they're just done. Fix it, make it good, then make your jokes. Like, oh yeah, it was shit.
Like what? What was it like, dude? Wasn't there a point where seriously bobby pins weighed more than a fucking gun?
Oh yeah, no, there was a point where bobby pins weighed way more than it should have. I don't know. I never played the game. That's what I've heard. Or you had like light rays coming through mountains.
Rays don't work that way.
Rays don't work that way. So yeah, all in all, shit show.
Yeah.
And it's continuing to be a shit show, and I'm never gonna buy this game.
No,
ever. It's just to the people who are still playing it. Hey, you know what? Kudos to you. I'm never touching this game.
I'm sorry, guys, but after the time I played with it, I can't. You know, it to me personally, again, personally, Fallout 76 is a disgrace to the Fallout title.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. It tarnishes it completely, and it worries me for future Bethesda releases, especially when you look at the new Wolfenstein. Well, yeah, when you look at like the new Wolfenstein, what was it, Youngblood?
Oh my god!
And there were microtransactions in that for a single player game.
What's the point?
Now, yeah, a lot of it was cosmetic. I don't care. Day one, I bought the game. I spent like $40 to $60. Why is it there day one for me to buy as an option? What, do you not have enough money? God, I don't have, 50s coming out of my ass over here, okay?
No, but still, I mean, we all get it, but it's like, yeah, seriously, day one, really? Like what you were mentioning with Ubisoft. For the fact of the matter, Odyssey had 7 tabs with a fucking loot box.
Oh my god.
Half of them didn't even seem worth it. Dude, for the fact of the matter, like seriously, it didn't at all seem worth it to me for the fact of the matter that, like, one of them looked so stupid for the fact of the matter, I could change my horse into a freaking unicorn.
Well, and
I'm like,
oh yeah. Well, see, I don't mind crazy things like that if it's after the game is released, and then you add it later.
Not on day one.
Not on day one. And I can understand how that line of thinking that I just mentioned can lead to like, oh well, look at Black Ops 4 where it was a full game and then a month later they added microtransactions. Aren't you fine with that? No, because that compromised the whole goddamn game.
No, we already knew they were coming.
Yeah, and we knew they were coming. Right. I mean, it's Activision. You expect it at this point, which is bad. I think it's bad that people have become so complacent to it.
Yeah, in all honesty, there was a point when I got Black Ops 4 on launch, because I did pre-order it, also because it was I was able to pick it up without having to pay for it because it was my brother's copy. Mm-hmm. So GameStop was nice enough to let me go and get it because, he couldn't. And I played it. Didn't see any loot boxes. The first words that came out of my mouth, I'm like, okay, Activision, where are they at?
Right, and that right there is sad. When I see a game advertisement and then I see a certain company attached to it, my first thought should not be, well, great, how are they going to try and fuck me over in this one?
Yeah.
Or what are they going to keep behind a paywall, or random ass fucking drop?
Like the one video where Angry Joe's in GameStop buying the game, and then just Corporate Commander punches them in the throat.
Yeah, and so okay. Anyway, I think moving on, because this is actually segues. No, this isn't about Angry Joe, but he did a video on it, and I thought it was important enough. And yeah, I know we've been referencing Angry Joe a lot in here, but
because he does good with his stuff.
But this topic I think is actually important, and it revolves around the ESRB, the ratings board.
Oh no.
The people who rated T for teen, rated
M for mature, rated E for everyone.
So,
rated A for adult.
I thought this was an interesting topic. People, go check out this on Angry Joe's channel if you haven't already. It's actually really interesting. We found out how the ESRB rates games.
How?
How do you think they rate their games?
I thought they would just rate their games depending on how it was made. Like a good example, like Spyro. That's rated E for everyone. Mm-hmm. Or like the Dynasty Warrior series rated T for teen because that's more of a teenage-based game. And then, like, obviously, the things like Call of Duty, where you see people, like, getting blown to smithereens, that's more for mature audiences. Mm-hmm. That's how I thought that they interpreted it, but I could be wrong.
What if I told you they don't play the games?
What do you mean?
The ESRB, the ratings board?
Yeah.
They don't play the games.
Well, then how do they determine what its rating is?
So, according to someone who messaged Joe, and this is in his video, to someone who provided answers to Joe, and I think one article came out about this. I'm not entirely certain. Go watch Joe's video. It's really good. I recommend it. So the way that ESRB, they have, so they say, they have many ways to rate a game. However, one of the prime ones is they receive footage of a game.
Okay.
From what I've heard, so grain of salt here, because let's be fair, grain of salt. From what I've heard, they average around 10 minutes to an hour. And they get 3 individuals who have really no... they don't really partake a lot in the games industry. But they have these 3 individuals take clipboards and a list, and they will watch this 10-minute to an hour long video sent to them by the game developers. And this video contains all of the quote-unquote bad things of the worst things of the game, so that they know how to properly rate it.
Right.
And to me, that says this: what's stopping a company from keeping information back from you? Especially when the chairman of the ESRB is the chairman of ZeniMax, the guys who own Bethesda, one of the heads of 2K as well, who also owns the ESRB, who also owns like certain things in the ESRB. So it's literally game publishers sending, from what it sounds like, sending the games to be reviewed by themselves for ratings.
Wow. I'm at a loss for words. That's just...
So, yeah. I heard that. And I saw that. Again, watch Joe's video. It's interesting. And I was like, so I literally have like no reason to trust you. Especially when you look at a game that NBA... And, okay, so the biggest thing that sparked all this was a basketball game. NBA 2K20.
Yeah.
It has something that is blatant online... Or not online, but blatant gambling simulation. You know, in a basketball game. Because, you know, you need like a fucking weird prize wheel and all this weird shit. Like, I don't mind that, but they rate it E. Whereas on the ESRB's rating system board, on their main page, you can go see it right now, anything with a gambling simulation has to be rated T. They rated it E. And they haven't changed it.
Oh, no.
Now, granted, NBA 2K20 is owned by who? 2K. And we know one of the heads on the board for the ESRB is
2K.
the 2K CEO. That doesn't seem coincidental at all.
No, that doesn't seem suspicious.
So, yeah, what do you think about all that? The ESRB, they don't really play much, apparently.
Evidently not, because especially if they're just... No, that definitely has some trust issues now.
I have, like... I'm actually shocked by that. And you see them manipulate...
Who could blame you?
Like, there's so much conflict of interest there. I can't fathom that. No. I saw that and I was like, this is actually ridiculous. How can I trust you as a ratings board? Because the whole reason the ESRB was made is so that we could self-regulate, because this was during the time of, like, in the 90s when people were like, Mortal Kombat's too violent, too blah.
Well, let's face it,
how do we know?
Mortal Kombat is violent.
Oh, it is. But the thing was, how do we keep this away from our kids and stuff?
Rated M.
A ratings board. Cool. That makes sense. Self-regulate yourself so the government doesn't have to get involved.
Yeah.
And then we have this come out. And then we have also the whole Battlefront 2 loot box problem, which also got politicians' eyes on it. Now we have all this crap with Blizzard. We're getting even more politicians' eyes on it. Look, I have never wanted anything governmental in the industry. But my God, if it's the one thing that's going to put these companies actually in line to not fuck us over and actually do their jobs correctly. Well, I'm sorry, but they kind of brought it on themselves.
Well, they did. I mean, normally, like with Blizzard, like we talked about originally, the government shouldn't have gotten involved.
Right.
For the fact that all the shit that they pulled over at the tournament over in, wherever it was, Thailand?
Taiwan.
Yeah. With all the shit that they pulled over there, it wasn't very surprising to hear that
No.
Congress got involved.
No.
But even though I did sound surprised, because it was like, I'm gonna make sure that we're not like talking like Congress of the board for that company. We're talking like Congress.
Well, I don't think there's a Congress of the board.
Well,
there is
I
a
don't know.
board, but I know what you mean. Yeah, so
It's like Congress, like the governmental Congress.
So yeah, go check out Angry Joe's video. It's fascinating and it's worrying. The games industry, like, my God, I think this is a good time to start supporting more independent developers. Whether they're big or small, just some of these companies you really got to watch out for. Namely, Bethesda, Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, EA. You just got to watch out. And you got to know... Seriously, you got to know what you're getting into with this stuff. And I think there comes a point in time when you have to start asking, when is enough enough? And what am I okay with? Because much as I loved playing like WoW, I don't think I can personally support Blizzard ever again. And I had some of my, and you know this, I had some of my, what I told you is some of my best gaming experiences in that like month and a half of playing WoW.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. WoW Classic was, damn, that's good stuff. But the company behind it just,
No.
I'm sorry, you tarnish yourself so much. I can't willingly support you. And I feel bad for the developers, but even the when I say developers, I mean the employees, because the employees didn't have any say. That all goes up to the higher ups. But anyway, you know what? Let's get off of the out of shit creek for a while. Let's talk about the good stuff.
Okay. What do we got?
So for people who, well, actually I shouldn't say for people who are new because we're a new podcast. Sorry, I'm so used to doing like older podcasts from like way back. So the way this podcast works, we get all of the stuff that we feel is newsworthy and talk about at the beginning of the podcast. We get all of that done first. And then for the last bit, we'll talk about the stuff that we've been playing and actually been enjoying. So, dude, what have you been playing lately? What have you been enjoying? Go for it.
There's been quite a few, though, that I've been enjoying. Like, how do we want to narrow this down, though? Like, games that have just been taking all my time, games that I've been enjoying more with friends. I mean,
just in general. What have you been playing? Like, this last week, we'll just say.
Destiny 2.
Oh, God.
I've also been playing it with you.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. Oh, my God.
Because, in all honesty, Destiny 2, I mean, which... Shadowkeep. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Shadowkeep, to me...
I can sink my teeth into that.
Shadowkeep, to me, has been the best expansion that Destiny 2's had. Destiny, ever since Rise of Iron, to me, has been the best expansion. Rise of Iron and Shadowkeep, right now, are my two most favorite expansions that either of the Destinies have had.
Rise of Iron was definitely one of my favorites. Taken King is by far my favorite for Destiny 1, but I agree Shadowkeep is so far my favorite for Destiny 2. Well, absolutely.
The other two expansions didn't really seem needed.
Curse of Osiris and Warmind. Yeah. Warmind, oh man. Warmind wasn't bad, but
It could have been better.
I left the game for a while during Curse of Osiris because at the time when they were still partnered with Activision, go figure, like almost all the items were based in the Eververse. I was like, oh my God, just no. But sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
But yeah, it was definitely. But I mean, yeah, and then now I'm getting back into Skyrim because I haven't played Skyrim in so long. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, watching you play it's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
I haven't played a lot of it either.
But I mean, that's probably like the only game really by Bethesda I still even play. And now I'm getting to this game that I've heard about called Greedfall, which so far that's been pretty fun.
I've kept my eye on Greedfall for a while. I don't think I'm gonna buy it just yet, but down the line I might eventually. I remember I saw the trailer like I think almost 2 years ago, I think, somewhere around there. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But, no, I've been playing so much Destiny 2. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Because you and I always played.
Oh, my God. Like, I'm already... Okay, I shouldn't say already, because I know there are people who have passed this. I'm rank 70. Just hit rank 70 on the Battle Pass last night. Yeah, I've been grinding for that armor. The phenotype armor is good. What do you think of the story? spoilers. Spoiler alert, in case people haven't finished it.
Yeah. The story to me was definitely good. I mean, it was awesome to be able to go back to the moon and, even though the ending, I won't spoil the ending to me personally was definitely confusing. But then once you find out that the ending's really just like setting up something else, I'm like, oh.
Right. Well, and that's something too, is I've seen a lot of people, and this is a fair criticism. I'm not going to knock anyone who makes this point. A lot of people have been saying that Shadowkeep's campaign is really short, and kind of like, well, considering the price, like what? I agree, it's pretty short, but I will also, and this is a personal thing, for me, I'm not overly worried because I also know that I'm going to buy the seasons after. And Bungie have stated that the seasons are going to build off of the expansion. And that's how they're going to be going every year. So like yearly, they're going to have an expansion. And then the seasons after are going to change the world.
I like that.
So I am fine with that business model, especially since they're free to play. But I can understand people's criticism of the campaign's too short.
Absolutely. I don't know why. Because we're on the moon, because for this season, it's Season of the Undying.
Yes.
So we're dealing with Vex.
All the Vex. Nice to see Vex on the moon.
Yeah, nice to see the Vex offensive.
Oh,
but
God.
I'm not going to lie. Some part of me for next season, my opinion only, I would seriously love to see a new mode, but it's not Vex. Call it Hive Offensive.
That'd be interesting.
And, we actually, but here's how I would want to see it. With Hive Offensive, it's obviously an idea. Not saying it's a thing. But with Hive Offensive, you obviously go in with a fire team of 6. Mm-hmm. But instead of going to the Black Garden, you actually jump down into the Hellmouth.
Oh, God. Returning to, that black pit.
Yeah.
That would actually be kind of cool. And you have to, defend lanterns.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I think that'd be neat. Some people have some have some problems with Vex Offensive, and that's fine. Personally, I'm not getting tired of it, but I also know that style of gameplay is, my bread and butter. And so when some people say they might be getting bored of it, that's totally understandable.
It's understandable.
Because I have been doing things on repeat like crazy, and for me, that's fine.
Vex Offensive is the best way to level up right now.
Yeah, but I can understand when people say it might be a little short-sighted, because it is. Also, you have to take it into account, and I know a lot of people do, because I'm not going to knock anyone who has criticism with it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but with Armor 2.0, as well as shifting everything from Battle.net to Steam, that's a lot of work, along with, of course they had the cross-save stuff implemented before.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've been enjoying the hell out of Shadowkeep, personally, and I'm really excited for the, put that thing down. God, out of context, that sounds really weird. I've been enjoying it. Oh, yeah. I think the other game I kind of started, actually, there are 2 games I've started, but I need to continue them, except I've just been on such a Destiny binge lately. Code Vein.
Yeah.
It's anime Dark Souls. My God, the character customizer, I adore it. You can make
Do you actually have the game?
Your greatest... Yeah, I got it on PC right there. You can just spend so long making your greatest anime waifu and then beat the shit out of people. It's wonderful. I think it's fun. But the other one is Divinity Original Sin 2. That's a fun one. I bought that one a while back, but I only just recently started playing it. It's pretty cool. It's like a sort of top down, but it's an RPG.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of choices in there. Oh my God. These guys know how to make a roleplay game.
Well, yeah, man. Once we're done, jump into one of them. Would love to see it.
Yeah, I might. I might. But I also want the rest of that armor in Destiny too. So I'm not sure. Hard to say.
Take a break from Destiny.
I can't take a break. There's only 52 days, and out of the 80 days or however long, I'm only at level 50 or level 70.
That's where I'm at. I'm still in the 50s.
Out of 100. I guess it's not bad. But
so quit your bitching and take a break.
Oh man. But yeah, no. So that's mostly been it. I've mostly just been doing Destiny. Yeah, I know. Don't give me that look. He's giving me the look of, really? You don't say.
Mr. Level 70, but I need to keep going.
I only maxed my gear on, in a week and a half.
You got 52 days left. You're only 30 ranks away. You can take a day to take a break.
I can't. I'm already seeing people with full phenotype Gear. Don't you give me that look. Although I will say, Sea of Thieves also got an update.
Nice.
It's a small one. It's like a Fortress of the Damned or something.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but I kind of don't want to go in there alone. That game I love. I really do. I'm not going to say it's perfect.
No.
But I think I'm going to wait until a bit more of a larger update comes.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I don't have any more topics on this list as of right now, though, and we are officially an hour, just a little over an hour and a half in. I think this is a good place to call it quits for the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely be back at you guys with another podcast once we decide to figure out what we're going to be discussing next.
Oh, dude, I'm sure so much news is going to drop, and if not, we can chat and shoot the shit about games all day.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a weekly, yeah, right?
Yep.
Weekly thing. Yep. Okay, so as of right now, we're shooting probably to record next Saturday.
Yes.
We'll see though. My work schedule is all over the place. So
Whatever works best for you, though.
but either way, we'll find a way to get each episode out on Sunday. So yeah. Thank you guys for listening. If you have been, this is our first episode. I think it was a pretty damn good episode.
I enjoyed it. I had fun, and hopefully that they enjoyed listening to us ramble. Which some of our content might have been like, "Can you guys stop pissing on our game company?"
Get to the point. Yes, welcome to Shit on Games podcast. No, we love games, and that's why we criticize certain things, because we just want them to get better, and we don't want these things to fail.
No,
we love playing the games. We criticize them because we love them. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. Hit the like and subscribe if you'd like. Please share it also. And if you're on Podbean, we'll welcome as well.
Yes.
Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Yep. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
See ya.